boy. Come on, let's go play with something else. You want to color? Do you want to color? Hey. Good morning.
Papa.
Is today gonna be a better day?
Huh?
Yeah? Are we gonna try again? Alright.
Mama.
Mama? Mama? Hi.
Kisses. Oh, so sweet. Ginger beer. Ginger beer. Here you go. Did you sleep good? Did you sleep good?
Can you get down on your own? Come on. Look. Careful, this side's hard. Little booty. Little booty. Oh, careful. Do you want down? Come here. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If this is your first time here, I'm Courtney, this is Casten, and welcome. So today I wanted to come on here and kind of just do a really raw, chatty video. A lot of my videos that I put together are, you know, montages or just video clips, and I really wanted to do something meaningful, and I feel like this week was really rough for me, so I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to tell you guys why it was so rough. So, give me that. You give me that. So Castin and I were home by ourselves for about 3 days while Zach was in Florida, and it was the worst 3 days of my life. And I feel like it's really hard for me to admit that I struggled, and I thought that would be just something that I would want to share with you, because I feel like at one point we all think that our children are perfect and we just live this stay-at-home mom dream life. But in reality, we struggle too. And I had a really hard day. I think it was Sunday, and I almost had to like take a step back and look at my life and look at my parenting and just try and figure out where I was and what I could do to help myself and just Casten for one, because I know that day I got really frustrated with him. So at one point, can you please stop? Welcome to my life. At one point, I kind of had to just set him in his crib and go in my room for like 5 minutes because it got to that point. And then I was sitting there and I was like, where did this come from? Because everybody who's followed me and people who know us, they always talk about, oh my gosh, Casten's so good. He's never a bad kid. He never does anything bad. And let me tell you, he brought me to my knees that day. And there were tears, and I know a lot of you follow me on Instagram, and I was posting a ton of polls, and it was just one of those days. And Zach wasn't here to help me, so I just felt like helpless in like making that day better. So we ended that day on a really bad note. It was just not a good day at all, like all around. I just feel like it's so important for moms to know that you're gonna have those days and to not get down on yourself, because that was the first day of many days that I'm going to have where I just want to cry myself to sleep. And I know it was really rough on Casten too, because you could tell he was just struggling with everything that was happening, pretty much from waking up in the morning and not getting his way when he wanted to go outside. And we live in Colorado, it's freezing in the morning. And I try to get him outside as much as I can, but like it was cold. So starting from there to putting him in his high chair and just having a screaming fit because he wanted to get out after he had 2 bites of food, and being the parent that thought that their kid was always going to be well behaved, which how naive of me. I was like really struggling with this change of attitude. I feel like we got through the day, it was really, really rough, and the next day was so much better. But I just wanted to share with you guys the things that we're struggling with right now and some of the plans that I have put into place to be proactive in this change of parenting style that I'm going to try. I'm also going to do my best today to try and not do a ton of editing to this video, because I feel like without all the editing, you're going to see what I'm really struggling with. You saw earlier that Castin is still learning how to listen, which obviously he's 18 months old. But if I tell him no, don't touch the camera, he immediately thinks that he should go touch the camera. So a lot of it's going to be unedited and played out to where you can see a real day in the life of the things that I'm struggling with, and just kind of tell you that it's okay. And I want other moms out there to know that it's okay to have a bad day, because my day was really bad. And I still think about how there's things that I wish I could go back and start over and just parent better. And I know all of us feel that way. So I feel like this is a really good way to get this out to at least people that subscribe to my channel. And I haven't done a video like this that shows emotions played out throughout the day, and I just want to show you the truth, because you may look at my Instagram and my stories on Instagram and even some of my other videos, and you might see, you know, the perfect life behind the lens. But I can tell you one thing, Sunday and Monday were the hardest days that I have come across so far, and I know there's going to be many more, but being the first really rough days that I've had, I was reaching out to friends, I was reaching out to Facebook, I was ordering books on Amazon. Like, it just it made me so overwhelmed that I just really wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about it. Huh, you drive mama crazy. Cray cray. Not Casten's drawer. Can we take the passy, because we know that the passy is only for the crib and the car seat. So let's go put it back in your room, okay? Should we clean up your room? Should we clean up your room? Let's clean your room. Got toys everywhere, bro. Everywhere. Don't step on him. Thank you. I know you're trying to get around him. Hurley, get. You can sit in your chair, but you need to be careful. Thank you for not stepping on Hurley. Sit down. You can play with that. So first of all, I'm going to apologize for my hair this morning because I have not showered yet. But one of the things that has become a main struggle in Casten's life is listening. So what you saw just there was him trying to step on Hurley to get up onto his chair. And it's really important for me to have kids that respect our pets, because we had our pets before we had our kids, and it's just really important for me to still make Hurley and Steela feel like they are our babies too. So I really have instilled in Casten to respect the pets, and he's really, really good with them. He never pulls their hair, he never pulls Hurley's ears, but when he's getting ornery, like you saw, he likes to step on Hurley to gain leverage to get to wherever he's going. And Hurley is not the best at moving out of the way. Let's just say he's underfoot all the time. So what I've learned is, you know, pull him back, and if he does it again, pull him back, and if he does it again is when we relocate. And I feel like that's really worked, but I don't want to have to do that all the time. So what you saw there was really good. He was trying to go around Hurley, and again, Hurley didn't get out of the way, so I had to, you know, nudge him. But that was one thing that we were really struggling with on Sunday, to the point where, you know, he was just not listening, and he took his frustration out on Hurley and actually kicked at him, which was a big no-no to Mommy.
No.
Was that a big no-no? Was that a no-no? No. Put it back. Thank you. This is not your drawer. This is Mommy's drawer. No.
Is that the Cookie Monster? Say cookie, cookie, cookie is good enough for me. Give him a hug. Oh. So what I have learned is he is obsessed with that top drawer, which has all of my like bedtime stuff in it, and what has become really important is to have alternative options. So if he gets into a drawer that's not his, and he actually knows it's not his because he'll look at me as he's opening it, to have something for him to play with, because is that your heartbeat? Look. That's Casten's heartbeat. Aww, is that your baby? So another thing that we are working on is sitting quietly and playing while I shower. So something that I think a lot of moms struggle with is balance and a schedule. And I feel like having a schedule is not necessarily the most important thing that you could be doing for your kid. We put too much pressure on ourselves to make a schedule work that in reality doesn't work. And I think that's where we kind of had a breakdown on Sunday, because I'm always like, okay, at this time we're going to do this, at this time we're going to do this, at this time we're going to do this, and that's not always the way to parent, because if your schedule gets thrown off at all, it's going to cause some major anxiety and stress in your life. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of a step back, not completely, but just from my routine. And it's good to have a little bit of routine, but I also feel like it's okay to let things go awry sometimes. I think I just got a little bit overwhelmed because my schedule did get thrown off, and it kind of caused a mental breakdown in here because what was happening out here wasn't happening. And I'm just gonna realize that it's okay if your schedule gets thrown off. It's a day, and it's not always a huge priority, at least to me. It causes me more stress to get my schedule thrown off than it would to just realize inside that it's okay if my schedule gets thrown off for a day or two. It's important to have a schedule for Casten, but I also feel like through these different stages that he's going through and through growth and age development, I feel like if he just switches up his schedule on his own, as long as it works with me and my life, and as long as it's reasonable, then I feel like it's okay to switch a schedule up every now and then. Him being in his crib is kind of a new thing because we have a baby gate at the top of the stairs, and I kind of just let him used to roam the upstairs. Everything is pretty baby proof while I get ready, but the books that I was reading said that if you let them feel like they have too much control, that's when they're going to kind of rebel and give you attitude. So we're trying to, he has a lot of independence, but we're trying to work on like making sure that he knows when he's in there, he needs to play with his toys, and it means that mommy's doing something and that he can't just do whatever he wants. So another thing that we were working on that we have been having a little bit of trouble with is starting to take away his pacifier, which Castin has never really been reliant on the pacifier, but he also loves to have it when he's in his crib or in the car seat. It keeps him pretty entertained while we're driving if we have somewhere that's further to go. Only in the crib and only in the car seat, which is actually working out really well until he sees one. If he sees one and he's playing in the living room or playing in his bedroom, he'll cry, and I just have to instill in him that pacifier is only for when we're sleeping, and then he'll get it at his nap times. So I think something that stressed me out on Sunday was I worked for a dentist for a long time, and I have been giving Castin a bottle at bedtime and letting him have it in his crib. And I've done my research on bottle rot, and I think it wasn't really important to me at the time because he was so young, but he's growing so fast that I just never thought it was something I needed to change. I did change it, and we're slowly but surely working on giving the bottle before bed, and I actually sit with him while he drinks it on my lap while I read him a story, and then I put him in his crib, and that's when he goes to sleep. Past 3 nights, he's cried for at least 20 minutes because he doesn't have that soothing mechanism. I know it's going to be an adjustment for both of us, but I think it's the best thing because right now he's soothed by that bottle, but if I can transfer whatever is soothing him to something else. So my mom gave me some really good advice. She said, you know, give him a stuffed animal and bring it with you everywhere you go so that he knows that that's his cuddle buddy. But I'll kind of take you through my nap time routine later with him and show you what we've been doing. And I would love to, if anybody has any other advice or routines that they'd use that they think have worked, I would love for you to comment in the comments.
Handy dandy booster seat, and it seems to be working really well. It just attaches to your chair, and we were really struggling with the high chair, and somebody recommended that I switch him over to a booster seat and try and transition him out of the high chair. How was your breakfast? Is it good? Thank you for being so patient while mommy gives Hurley his food. Don't touch. Don't touch. Nope, look, play with this. So on Sunday, another thing that we really struggled with was the high chair situation. I would put him in his high chair, immediately give him his food so that he wasn't sitting there for too long without something to preoccupy him. And he took 2 bites and then threw a fit that I wouldn't take him down because I had not finished eating yet. And it had been a really long day and I was so hungry, and it just like threw me because he has always been so good in his high chair, keeps himself entertained, and it just drove me crazy. And he was screaming and he was throwing his water cup, and I have yet to find a water cup that does not spill when it hits the ground at rocket speed. So that was frustrating me because I was constantly cleaning up water off the floor, not because I was like being a clean freak, but because if I leave water on the floor, he could slip and fall. So I was constantly cleaning that up so that I didn't miss any of it. He was throwing his food across the floor, and Hurley can't have any people food right now, so I was on my hands and knees cleaning up food for like 5 minutes. And he had only had 2 bites, so I didn't want to take his food away, but at some point I knew I had to. And so I took his food away and he didn't eat. And I also think that that day he was teething and in a lot of pain. So I don't know if that was the cause of his like stressed out attitude, but it was a struggle. So that's why we switched to the booster seat, which I think was a really good idea. he seems to like it, and when I'm cooking his dinner, he goes to it, so he knows that he needs to sit in it. I don't know if it's just like a phase where he knows it's new, so that's why he likes it, but we're gonna try out the booster seat and see if it helps our dinner situations. I know that family dinners are important right now, but at the same time, like, I really enjoy putting him down to bed at 7 and just eating a little bit later than we're used to, because I can like sit and relax and eat my dinner. A fresh page. Here you go. Look. Look. Can you do that? This is what I'm talking about with alternative options of things to do. Distraction at its finest.